In case here with our at-home strength work for Wednesday, June 7th. 3 sets today, 7 tempo dumbbell strict press, 10 pullovers, you'll be laying on the ground for those, and then 10 split stance rows per arm. On those strict press today, if you have 2 dumbbells of the same weight, let's go double dumbbell. If not, just do 7 on one side and then 7 on the other. When you set up for this lift, we want a hip width stance. And then once we have those dumbbells resting on the shoulder. Toes are straight forward. Before we go, we want to lock out our knees and squeeze those quads, squeeze our butt tight. And then last piece, we're standing tall here, but we want to squeeze our belly tight. It's going to bring those ribs down just a little bit. Once we have all that locked in, we don't want to let our torso move at all. We're going to press overhead, hold at the top for 3 seconds, reaching as high as you can, trying not to let those ribs flare or your back arch. So keep all that locked in, and then it's going to be 3 seconds on the way down. Tap the shoulder, quick back to the top, 3-second hold at the top, 3 seconds on the way down. After that, 10 dumbbell pullovers. Knees bent. Squeeze that belly tight so that your low back gets flat on the ground. We're going to start with dumbbell over top of the sternum. We can have a slight elbow bend on these. And what I really want you to focus on is engaging your lats while this belly's tight. So as we lower, belly stays tight. And then as we go to pull to the top, really squeezing through this long muscle that runs down the side of your back. Stay slow and controlled on these, no specific tempo. Use a weight that when you finish, you've got about 2 reps left in the tank. If you want to use a little more range of motion, you can hold that dumbbell, one head in each hand, and then that way those hands can drop lower down. Just make sure that we don't have any shoulder pain if we go for that additional range. Finishing up with 10 split stance rows. You'll likely be heavier on this lift than your other 2, so grab a heavier dumbbell for this one. Whichever arm you're pulling with, that's the foot that's going to be back. Your hand should be supported on an object that's roughly knee height. And then as we set up, we want to think about bending those knees some, pushing those hips back so that we can load up our posterior chain, and then also so that we can keep our back flat. From here, looking out just in front of these fingertips, it's going to help keep that neck in line with the rest of the spine. Long reach in the bottom, elbow stays tight, squeezing tight again through that big lat muscle as we pull. So touch the ribs at the top, hold for just a moment. Once we reach that full extension at the bottom, pulling right back to the top. 10 on one side, then 10 on the other side. Rest about 30 seconds in between each movement, and then select weights today on all 3 movements that when you get to that last rep, you feel like you still have another rep or 2 left in the tank. Good luck on today's strength work, and we'll see you back soon for our Metcon.